I was 3 weeks into recovery from surgery. Still tired. Still healing. Watching a lot of bad TV. My phone buzzed. A text from Jake. Old friend. Also in the startup world. "Hey, is everything okay with you and Tyler?" I wrote back, "Yeah, why?" He sent me a screenshot. A LinkedIn job posting. Posted by Tyler, my business partner. Seeking experienced operations manager for growing consulting firm. Immediate start. Competitive salary. Operations manager. That was my role. My exact role. Posted 3 weeks into my medical leave. Without telling me. Without asking me. Without even checking if I was coming back. I stared at that screenshot for 20 minutes. Because in that moment, I realized I wasn't on medical leave. I was already gone. And my business partner had moved on while I was still in bed recovering. I need to back up. 6 months earlier, I started having symptoms. Chronic pain. Fatigue. Something wasn't right. I ignored it for weeks. Because that's what you do when you're running a business. You push through. Tyler and I had built a consulting firm from scratch. For years in. Finally profitable. Growing team. I handled operations. He handled sales and client relations. Standard partnership. 50-50 equity. Equal say. Also I thought. The symptoms got worse. I finally went to a doctor. Tests. Scans. More tests. They found something. Not cancer, but serious. Required surgery and 6 weeks minimum recovery. I told Tyler over coffee. I said, I need to take medical leave. 6 weeks. Maybe 8. He put his hand on my shoulder. He said, don't even think about the business. We've got systems in place. The team knows what they're doing. You focus on getting healthy. That's what matters. I almost cried. Because I'd been terrified to tell him. Terrified he'd be angry. Terrified I was letting him down. But he wasn't. He was supportive. Understanding. A real partner. Or that's what I thought. The surgery went well. Recovery was slow. Painful. I spent most days on the couch, sleeping, reading, trying not to think about work. Tyler checked in the first week. How you feeling? Don't worry about anything here. Take your time. Week 2, the messages slowed down. Week 3, they stopped. And that's when Jake sent me the screenshot. Before the surgery, I prepared everything. I documented every process. Every client relationship. Every ongoing project. I created a transition plan. Assigned responsibilities. Made sure the team knew what to do. I didn't want Tyler to feel abandoned. I wanted him to know, I'm still here. I'm still committed. I'm just healing. The day before surgery, we had a handoff meeting. I walked him through everything. He said, this is great. Really thorough. Don't worry, we'll keep things running smoothly. I said, I'll check in from recovery. Just text me if anything urgent comes up. He said, no. You rest. Doctor's orders. We'll be fine. I trusted him. Week 1 post-surgery, I was too out of it to think about work. Pain meds. Sleep. Barely functional. Week 2, I started feeling a little better. I texted Tyler, how's everything going? He responded 6 hours later, all good. Focus on healing. I texted again 2 days later, any updates on the Morrison project? No response. I thought, he's probably just busy. I'm overthinking. Week 3. That's when Jake sent the screenshot. Seeking experienced operations manager? Immediate start. I read it 3 times. Then I opened LinkedIn. Posted 5 days ago. Already 47 applicants. I called Tyler. He didn't answer. I texted, "We need to talk." He responded an hour later, "In meetings all day." "What's up?" I wrote, "Why is there a job posting for an operations manager?" 3 dots appeared. Disappeared. Appeared again. Then, "Can we talk tomorrow?" "Not a good time right now." I said, "No. We're talking now." He called. I answered. I said, "What the hell, Tyler? You're hiring someone for my job?" He sighed. He said, "It's not like that." I said, "Then what is it like? Because it looks like you're replacing me." He said, "Look, you're going to be out for weeks. Maybe longer. I can't run operations and sales at the same time. I needed help." I said, "So you hired someone?" Without telling me. He said, "I didn't hire anyone yet. I'm just exploring options." I said, "Exploring options?" "Tyler, I built those operations. I documented everything for you. The team knows what to do. You didn't need to replace me." He was quiet for a moment. Then he said, "I don't know when you're coming back. Or if you're coming back." I had to plan for the worst. And that's when it hit me. He wasn't hiring temporary help. He was hiring my replacement. Because in his mind, I was already gone. Week 5 of my recovery. I was feeling better. Still not 100%, but functional. I decided to go to the office. I needed to see what was happening. I walked in. The team looked surprised to see me. Not happy. Not relieved. Just surprised. Like I wasn't supposed to be there. I asked where Tyler was. Someone said, "In the conference room. With the new hire." New hire. I walked to the conference room. Through the glass, I saw Tyler. And a woman I didn't recognize. Sitting at the table. Laptop open. Reviewing documents. My documents. Tyler saw me. His face went pale. He came out. He said, "Hey. You're here. You should be resting." I said, "Who is that?" He said, "That's Morgan. She's helping out while you recover." I said, "Helping out? Or taking over?" He said, "It's temporary." I looked at Morgan through the glass. She was sitting in my usual spot. Using my systems. Talking to my team. Tyler said, "Let's talk in my office." We walked in. He closed the door. I said, "You told me you were exploring options. You didn't tell me you'd already hired someone." He said, "I was going to tell you. The timing just." I said, "The timing?" "Tyler, I've been gone 5 weeks. You couldn't wait 6. He didn't answer. I said, "When were you planning to tell me?" "When I came back and found someone at my desk." He said, "It's not like that. Morgan's just here to help transition things. When you're ready, we'll figure out how to reintegrate you." Reintegrate? Like I was a new hire. In the company I built. I went home. I called a lawyer. I pulled out our partnership agreement. Turns out, there was a clause about extended absence. If a partner was unable to perform their duties for more than 60 days, the other partner could make unilateral decisions about hiring and restructuring. Tyler had lawyered up before I even went into surgery. He knew. He knew that if he waited just 2 more weeks, he could do whatever he wanted. And I'd have no say. I confronted him the next day. I said, "You planned this." He said, "I did what I had to do to protect the business." I said, "Protect the business? Or take it over?" He said, "You were out. Indefinitely." I didn't know if you were coming back at full capacity. I made a decision. I said, you made the decision to erase me. He looked me in the eye. He said, you're still a partner. You still have equity. But I can't run this company waiting for you to be ready. Morgan's good. The team likes her. And honestly, she's been more present in 5 weeks than you've been in 6 months. That last part, that was the knife. Because he wasn't wrong about the 6 months. I'd been dealing with my health. I'd been slower, less available. And he'd been watching, waiting, for the moment I'd be vulnerable enough to replace. I didn't fight it. I was too tired. Physically, emotionally. I took a settlement, bought out my equity at a discounted rate. Tyler kept the company. Morgan kept my job. And I walked away from 4 years of my life. The worst part? He wasn't evil. He wasn't trying to hurt me. He was just practical. In his mind, I became a liability. And liabilities get replaced. It didn't matter that I'd built the operations from scratch. It didn't matter that I'd been there from day one. It didn't matter that I was coming back. What mattered was that I wasn't there now. And in business, now is all that counts. I don't tell this story for sympathy. I tell it because this happens every day. People get sick. They take leave. They trust their partners. And their partners move on. Not out of cruelty. Out of convenience. Here's what I learned. Partnerships are conditional. They work when both people are performing at 100%. But the moment you're not, you become a problem to solve. Tyler didn't betray me because he hated me. He betrayed me because I stopped being useful. And in his mind, protecting the business meant protecting himself. Even if it meant erasing me. So if you're in a partnership, read your agreement. Know your vulnerabilities. Understand that take care of yourself sometimes means we're moving on without you. Because the people who tell you not to worry, they're the ones already planning for your absence. And if you ever get sick, ever need leave, ever become inconvenient, know that your value isn't in what you've built. It's in what you can do right now. And if you can't do it right now, someone else will. Partnerships don't survive inconvenience. They survive until you stop being convenient.